break open your house one time, they rape your mother, they rape your father, they rape your brother, they rape your sister, they rape your auntie, they rape your auntie, they rob you of all your jewels, they take your car if you have a license firearm, they take your firearm, and they go on with that. And those that are supposed to vote for this bill, for the next year, you all are pleased and it's okay with that. What are they smoking? You cannot come and tell Saieed, well, hear this now. Saieed, mass mandatory, here we go. It come to an end. And then you come and tell me, here we go on Saieed. If you go to the supermarket, the grocery, or the malls, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you go to a pharmacy, you have to wear your mask. Saieed, if you're traveling, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the transportation hub, you have to wear your mask. If you're going to church side, you have to wear your mask. If you're in the school side, you're wearing your mask. If you go to a barber salon, you go to the theater, you're wearing your mask. Which dum-dum in Trinidad and Tobago will go in a theater and buy a popcorn and a juice and sit down and wear a mask? Thanks! If every councillor go through their constituency, do video clips like this and send it for us, I'm gonna be so happy just to play it on our program on a Wednesday night. You know why I would be happy? I will be filled with joy in my heart. You know why? Because the councillor is getting off their butts and they are actually going and doing some live video shoots. Real Talk took the initiative to find out suppliers of wheat in the world that National Flour Mill could go to. So now Romano is saying the company is not going to raise any price in the near future. Why? Why? Is it because the S-boss and they realize now that, hey, it is in the public domain that we could go right Mexico and buy flour and wheat? We could go right China and buy wheat? I am about change. And thus far, Real Talk is very effective in Trinidad and Tobago coming towards making changes for the citizens. Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez have urged the population to appreciate and be grateful for the availability of the utilities. This, as Gonzalez recalled, time in his life when he had to fetch water using a bucket from a nearby river. Gonzalez, I want you to understand something. I want you, Mr. Gonzalez, to understand something. You are being paid thousands of dollars by public utility, by the finance ministry, to govern WASA. Come on. To govern WASA, I want you to understand that you ain't going in no office for no free code. You are being paid. Do not tell me that I, Saieed, have to be grateful for the water I get it. Let me tell you something, Gonzalez. Every 4 months, I have to pay $400 and I get water once a bloody month. So don't come on a media briefing and say, Saieed, you have to be contented. You have to be happy. Marvin, the next best thing for you to do is to resign and get the hell out of here.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Real Talk with Saieed Ali. I am your host, Saeed. We do want to thank you for joining us tonight, viewers. You know, I say every night to you, the viewers of Real Talk with Saieed Ali, to share our Facebook social media platform. Also, to share our YouTube platform, viewers. So on Facebook, it's Real Talk with Saieed Ali. Like and share our Facebook page, viewers. It is very, very, how should I say it? Everybody's going social media these days. So it is important to us that you share it. Also on YouTube, it's City Real Talk. Subscribe, hit the bell, and you would know when we go live. Also, viewers, I would just like to remind you of the 4% that Real Talk have. It's an offer going on right now. We are the only financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago that is offering you 4% on our fixed deposit with interest up front. Yes, Trinidad and Tobago, interest up front. We are the only financial institution that is doing that. Also, be a member of the credit union, open a savings account, buy shares, plant a seed today for a better tomorrow. Many of you want to pick fruit from a tree for a brighter future, but you didn't plant a seed. How you expect to pick fruit from a tree for a brighter future and you haven't planted a seed? How can you do that? So remember, viewers, 4% on fixed deposits with upfront interest. As we start our program tonight, Prime Minister Dr. Saieed Ali has announced that children from hurricane-ravaged region in Grenada and St. Vincent and the Grenadines will be allowed to enter Trinidad and Tobago to seek refuge with their families. The decision was made in reaction to the pressing need to help and support the hundreds of individuals in the wake of the Hurricane Beryl's devastation and death on the islands. Dr. Rowley revealed that the government of Trinidad and Tobago has offered to allow school-age children from the devastated zone to be allowed into Trinidad and Tobago if they have family here who may wish to house them during the school holiday period in Trinidad and Tobago. Now, back in 2017, Dr. Rowley offered accommodation to the Dominicans who were left homeless following the passage of Hurricane Maria. At this time, the usual immigration requirements for necessary for entry into the country were waived. However, he did not elaborate on what the measures were or would be put in place for people entering the country on this occasion. According to a statement, the PM said a virtual CARICOM meeting was convened where they received an update on the devastation caused by Hurricane Beryl's and added that the government was mobilizing relief supplies to be urgently dispatched by marine craft. Education Minister Dr. Nian Gaspi-Dolly also stated that the further details regarding the Prime Minister's call to accommodate school-age children have not been ventilated, but school will not rule out facilitating them within the school system. So viewers, as the weeks go by, I'm sure we're going to hear more on the school education system in Trinidad and Tobago concerning the children from a ravished country. We're going to see how that goes. Now, despite the official start of the 2024 wet season, the Water and Sewerage Authority, WASA, has announced the extension of water restriction until July 31st. The decision comes after the Trinidad and Tobago continue to grapple with the prolonged dry season and insufficient rainfall at the four main reservoirs, Arena, Navet, Hollis, and Hillsburg. WASA stated in adhering to its 2024 dry season water supply management plans, adjustments the plant operating and supply schedules are ongoing. In southeast Trinidad, customers serviced by the Navet water treatment plant will face further revision to their supply schedules after reduction production of 15 to 12 million gallons per day. WASA's restriction extension follows Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez signing for his ministry a US $350 million National Water Sector Treatment Program, transformation program funded by a loan from the Inter-American Development Bank. Well, we're going to see how that goes later on. So Trinidad and Tobago, feel free to call in with the issues that you are having in our country presently. There are lots of present issues that we have to deal with in our country. Now, I want you to understand, don't lose track of the important things that has to be addressed in our country. Don't be sidetracked by the hurricane. Don't be sidetracked by the minister wanting to help other countries. Don't be sidetracked by the Minister of Finance. What I want you to do, I myself does it, keep track of the issues that we are facing in our country. Our lifestyle, our heritage, our betterment. Not other countries, our betterment. Our own betterment. Do we have proper roads? No. Do we have 24-hour water supply for 1.4 million people? After decades gone by of millions of dollars being pumped into WASA, we still cannot get a 24-hour water supply for 1.2 or 1.3 million people. Imagine that in a 2x2 country. We had all the resources. Where did it go? Don't lose track of the crime. Don't lose track of policing. Don't lose track of the fire tenders, lack of equipment. Don't lose track of the repairs of school needed. Don't lose track of the health sector. Don't lose track. Because when we lose track, we tell ourselves, well, you know what? Everything is better. Which everything is not better. When you go to make a report in the station, how are you greeted? When someone's house is on fire, do we have proper equipment for our firefighters? When you go to the hospital, how long do you have to sit and wait? How long do you have to sit and wait before you see a doctor? Will you be able to get medication in our hospital or in the pharmacy after you visit the doctor? Look at the rising cost of food price. So Trinidad and Tobago, I am reminding you tonight, do not lose focus of what is taking place in our country, because we tend to do that very often. Very, very often we tend to do that. We forget about the issues. We got a little couple $100 extra in our pocket. Where's King Ram? Where's King Jesus? Yeah, where's King Solomon? A couple $100 extra in my pocket, and that is it. But are you saving something from that couple $100 extra for the rainy days? Ask yourself that. Revenue Authority coming up very soon. Very soon. Are you prepared to lose your television, your couch, your bed, your stove, your fridge, your microwave if you do not pay a 3-month tax on your property? Are you prepared? Are you prepared to lose that? So these are the things that you need to keep track on. You need to keep focus on. So while you're working for a betterment. I am here to remind you of these things. Not here to burden you, but to remind you of what is coming. Not what gone or not what went, what is coming. After Hurricane Beryl passage, 13 Water and Sewerage Authority water treatment plant were fully restored, and 4 others were expected to be back in operation. Electricity supply was also to be restored to a few areas in Tobago. Public Utility Minister Marvin Gonzalez gave an update in the Senate responding to questions by Opposition Senator Wade Mark on action being taken by WASA and Tiantec to expedite restoration of service to communities affected by the hurricane passage. Gonzalez commended first responders from agencies involved who were fully mobilized to provide support to communities which may and could have been seriously impacted by the hurricane. He was also pleased to report that from the public utility sector, 13 of WASA's plants have been fully restored to full operation, with 4 plants out of operation. Listen to Marvin.
Our public utility agencies, together with our colleagues from the various state agencies, have been out doing great work, providing support to all government agencies. And as a result of that, Mr. President, I am pleased to report that from the public utility sector, 13 of WASA's plants have been fully restored to full operation, with 4 plants remaining out of operation. And we expect that those plants to be fully restored by 6 p.m. today.
So I want to send a big congratulations to the first responders in Tobago who worked tirelessly to make sure Tobago were up and running after the passage of the storm. So congratulations to the team out there in Tobago. Now, with respect to Tiantec, the ministry reported that in Trinidad, all areas that were impacted by severe weather conditions have been fully restored, and in Tobago, 98% of the affected areas' electricity service were fully restored up until 6 p.m. yesterday. Listen to this.
With respect to Tiantec, Mr. President, I'm also pleased to report to the national community that in Trinidad and Tobago, all areas that have been impacted by severe weather conditions have been fully restored. Their electricity supply has been fully restored, and in Tobago, 98% of the affected areas, electricity services have been fully restored, Mr. President, and we expect that by 6 p.m. today, the areas that have been out of electricity, they will be fully be restored.
For a speedy connection and restoring electricity in all parts of Trinidad and in Tobago also. On whether additional water trucking service will be provided to areas left without a supply due to water treatment plants not operating, Gonzalez said WASA call center was operating 24 hours to provide help. Paula, good night. Hello?
Hello?
Go right ahead, you're live on Real Talk.
Yes, Real Talk?
Yes, sir,
Hello?
you're live. Yes, go right ahead.
Yeah, I'm calling from Tobago.
Welcome. How is Tobago? Tell us a little about Tobago.
Well, Tobago is all right, you know. Thank God we were spared the wrath of the
Barrels.
storm.
Thank God for that.
There's a few things up in the countryside, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But everything is okay.
I'm glad to hear that.
What is worrying us Tobago there is to see that we have a prime minister that is also from Tobago. And up to now, he has never said a word of comfort to the people of Tobago.
Wow.
But you're hearing that he's talking all kind of thing about Grenada.
Yes,
You
yes.
know? He's talking about all up in the islands. I mean, we don't have no problem with that. Right?
We never heard
He's a
anything.
good guest there. But say something about Tobago.
Correct. So true, my friend.
And Tobago is very right about that. And he said it already. He said that he will never going to forgive Tobagonians for voting PNM. He said it.
Wow.
And he's showing it true colors.
Yes.
Anyhow, probably must he have no voice of comfort, so that why must he ain't say nothing.
My friend, thank you so much.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so much for sharing with us what is going on in Tobago. Stacey Trinidad and Tobago, the Prime Minister said nothing absolutely about Tobago. Absolutely nothing. Nothing. Imagine that, eh? Wow. But nevertheless, viewers, we're going for a short commercial break, but when we come back, we're going to hear what the PM have to say concerning the bail bill and police after this.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
Become a member of Real Talk Credit Union, now located at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas. Open a fixed deposit with Real Talk Investments and get 4% on interest with interest payment being paid up front. Get in contact with us at 238-6716, 231-6219 or 339-1670. Real Talk Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited. Plant a seed today for a better tomorrow.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Real Talk Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the glaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. Remember, Trinidad and Tobago, we have a 4% on fixed deposit with your interest payment up front. Your interest payment, what can you do with your interest payment? Pay down on a car, fix your roof, pay bills, put away savings for you, for the kids, visit the doctor, go for vacation. You could do these things with your interest up front. Like I said, Real Talk, we are leaders in the business now. Since we became a licensed financial institution, we are leading the way with fixed deposits in Trinidad and Tobago. We have started already. I am changing the way banking operates and functions in Trinidad and Tobago. Watch and you will see. And we started off with our fixed deposit system where you're getting your interest payment up front. Where are you getting that? Nowhere in Trinidad and Tobago. Absolutely nowhere. So why keep your money in a financial institution when you are not getting a 4% interest? Why not join us? Be members. Very soon, Real Talk Credit Union will be in Guyana. We have finance and investment already. Very soon, Real Talk Credit Union will be in Guyana. And we're moving forward. So back to our stories tonight. Prime Minister Dr. Saieed Ali believes the bail bill will put a major dent in the rap sheet of those committing the most violence of crimes. He also believes it will send a strong message to the criminals that parliamentarians are doing their part to ensure they can no longer terrorize law-abiding citizens. Dr. Rowley stressed the importance of assisting the police in putting pressure on those criminals. He stated that those bills will assist police to put a bit of pressure on those who have chosen crime as a way of life in this country.
We've been grappling with this bill on many occasions. And while the leader of the opposition made a big point in saying, why are we coming with it again and again? It is because, Madam Speaker, we genuinely believe that this bill will assist the police to at least put a bit of pressure on those who have chosen crime as a way of life in this country. The police are the ones who ask the government, the parliamentarians, to put this measure in place, to deal not with every citizen, but with a small number of people who are literally terrorizing the population.
He also added that the purpose of the bill is to prevent people from using the goodwill of the population to terrorize the population, because the criminal knows exactly what the law permits and what it does not permit.
So when the member asks, what is the purpose of the bill? I think everybody knows the answer to that. The purpose is to prevent people from using the goodwill of the population to terrorize the population. Exactly. Because the criminals know exactly what the law permits and what it doesn't permit. And they know the logistics in applying the law to them, and they have no regard for the discomfort that they're causing to the wider national population. So the answer to that question is simple. If you get yourself in a situation where you can be charged, taken before the court for these listed very serious offenses, the people's representatives in the House have put positions in place where you'll be inconvenienced. You will be inconvenienced.
Dr. Rowley said the offenders or offense are occurring very frequently, and there will be a number of instances where this provision will be found to be suitable on a case-by-case basis. However, it doesn't say that everybody who commits a violent crime will end up being denied bail. But there are instances that the judicial officer will say to themselves, and to take the population, you require to be kept here for a while. Listen to this.
If a person is to be denied bail, we trust that the rest of the system, the judiciary, will be cognizant of that. And the police will be cognizant of that. So that when a person is denied bail for this prescribed period, people at this time in our country facing the criminal onslaught will know that we have to work faster and better to be able to have the trial expedited so that a position of guilt or innocence can be established in a reasonable time frame, having the benefit of the person having been denied bail for the number of days that the law provides. So the matter doesn't end after this law is passed. It puts a requirement on others to use it.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, if this bail bill were to work properly, you see, when you hear somebody break into your house and they abuse your family and they rape your daughter and they rape your wife and they beat you badly, you know, normally when police catch you, you're outside on bail, whether who get raped or not. Now, this bill will help the magistrate to say, you know what? Because of the fact of the matter that you raped somebody, you entered somebody's house forcefully, you raped them, you robbed them, and you beat them on top of it, on top of that, no bail for you. So it becomes easier now for the magistrate to make that decision. Instead of you break in somebody's house, you rape them, you rob them, you beat them, and when police catch you, you get bail because it's a bailable offense. A bailable offense and you get bail and you go on your way. Commit another crime, you pay for this one. This one will help the magistrate. That's the reason why. Now, along this week, you will understand how important this bill is. You will understand the importance of this bill. It gives the magistrate a little more power, as they would say. To either grant you bail or says no bail for you. So it helps the police also in doing their work a little more faster, because they will understand that when they present their report to the magistrate and the magistrate reads their report, you know what? No bail for you. Even though it's a bailable offense, the magistrate have the power and the authority to tell you no bail for you. Caller, good night.
Night, Mr. Saeed. Great program as usual.
Thank you, my friend.
We must not forget that the Prime Minister said that there are criminals in Parliament, there are criminals in
Correct.
the police service, there are criminals licensed office.
Yes.
Everywhere there are criminals. So now he's telling the police to put pressure on criminals.
Oh, we're going to see some result, hopefully.
So I want the police to put pressure on the most notorious gang in this country, that political gang, the Balize Mafia. They must put pressure on them and arrest all of them. And in the criminal gang, in the police, I didn't say it, the Prime Minister said it.
Correct.
So here it is now, you're going to put pressure on the police service criminals in the police service, and I want them to put pressure on Rohan Sinanan to find out what he did with the white paint that's supposed to be used on the roads of this country. When rain falling, especially in the night, you can't see
Correct.
on the highway, no main road in this country, a white line on the road. So I hope the police will put pressure on this criminal gang, the most notorious political gang in this country, and have them arrested. Mr. Said, keep up the great work you are doing. God bless you.
Thank you, my friend. So viewers, we are going for a short commercial break. But when we come back, we're going to hear Hines on police seized 5,000 firearms in 6 years after this.
Become a member of Real Talk Credit Union, now located at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas. Open a fixed deposit with Real Talk Investments and get 4% on interest, with interest payment being paid up front. Get in contact with us at 238-6716, 231-6219 or 339-1670. Real Talk Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited. Plant a seed today for a better tomorrow.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Realtor Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saeed, Managing Director of Realtor Group of Companies and licensed moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690, or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas, or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Real Talk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on the roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Real Talk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Real Talk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Real Talk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
Welcome back to Real Talk, viewers. The Minister of National Security, Fitzgerald Hines, have stated that in 6 years, police have seized almost 5,000 illicit firearms and 100,000 illicit bullets. He was replying to a question from Independent Senator Dr. Paul Richards on the number of illegal firearms discovered, plus the number of suspects arrested and charged for possession. Hines gave the number of firearms and bullets seized for each year from 2018 to 2024 and revealed that the total seized by police was 4,956 firearms and 104,737 rounds of ammunition. Listen to this.
According to information received from the Commissioner of Police, as it relates to the detection of illegal firearms and ammunition by the Trinidad and Tobago Police Service, the data for the period January 2018 to May 2024 reveals as follows. 2018, 988 illegal firearms, 16,308 rounds of ammunition. 2019, 888 firearms, 4,368 rounds of ammunition. 2020, 755 firearms, 37,697 rounds of ammunition. 2021, 681 firearms, 12,850 rounds of ammunition. 2022, 703 firearms, 11,022 rounds of ammunition. 2023, 709 firearms, 19,804 firearms. And year-to-date, 232 firearms, 2,688 rounds of ammunition, totaling for the period 4,956 firearms and 104,737 rounds of ammunition.
Now, Trinidad and Tobago, Richard asked if the real problem was illegal firearms entering Trinidad and Tobago. Hines replied that firearms are the problem, and while illegal firearms are so properly described, legal firearms have also become misused in terms of illegal conduct. The minister said firearms are the real danger and added that it was no surprise that violence involving firearms and the region has been described as a public health concern.
I would say in response to that, firearms are the problem. Because while illegal firearms are so properly described, legal firearms, meaning firearms that are lawfully in the possession of persons authorized under the law, have also become, can also become, and are known to have become abused, misused in terms of illegal conduct and illegal activity. It is known as divergence. So for me, for us, firearms are the real danger. And of course, we recognize that you have legal firearms for very lawful use. We have had state firearms issued to law enforcement personnel that have been used in very severe criminal activity. So we do have a problem. No surprise that the region has described the violence, particularly with the use of firearms, as a public health concern, and more lately described so at the very international level.
Now, viewers, you all will love this one. Richard then asked if the police had any challenges in identifying individuals who import illegal guns. Pine said there are ongoing queries because it is a problem. A person have been arrested and charged, and there are going inquiries into order to rid the society of them. But tell us something. This man smooth with his words, you know. But listen.
And there are ongoing inquiries as we speak, because this is a present and burgeoning problem. And I can give the Honorable Senator the assurance that persons have been arrested and charged, of course, and there are ongoing inquiries supported by intelligence, supported by tracing, supported by other techniques in order to detect them, to rid the society of them, making here safer for all of our citizens and, of course, our wonderful visitors, including, of course, those from the Parliament of Jamaica, who I join all of us in particularly welcoming. Thank you very much.
So viewers, let me tell you something, eh? I'll tell you this. In a community, every individual in the community knows the drugs man, knows the gun man, knows the cocaine seller. But you know what? In that community, the police station, no individual inside that police station who call themselves police knows the drugs man, knows the gun man, knows the marijuana sellers. But the villagers have all information on them except TTPS. These are just facts. You think about it. After putting a citizen on election standby a little over a week ago, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Rowley now says he does not intend to ring the election bell anytime soon. Let me tell you something. Someone who is holding on to power, it doesn't matter what 30 million people think, he is not going to call an election until his time. On June 23rd, while addressing supporters at the People's National Movement PNM Sports and Family Day, the Prime Minister asked people to stand by and wait for the call, sending a signal to opposition members and others that an early election day might be on the horizon.
I ask you to stand by, wait for the call, because in the middle of the night, the dawn may not be too far away. Ladies and gentlemen, whenever they are ready, THA election, by-election, general election, we will beat them in the east, we'll beat them in the west, we'll beat them in the north, and we'll massacre them in the south. Ladies and gentlemen, great is the PNM, Great is the PNM. Great is the PNM. And we shall prevail.
I love this man, you know. I love this man, you know. This man will speak it into existence, you know. The man bold, the man fearless, the man is a conqueror. If we had an opposition leader like him, or with the effort like him, trust me, the parliament would have had some serious challenge. And I said, George, let me tell you something, that seat would have been hot. Hot. Where you sitting down on? If our opposition leader had a little motivation, a little inspiration, a little fire in the soul, like Dr. Keith Rowley. I love this man. I love that man. He bold and he ain't afraid to say what he have to say. However, while speaking in Parliament, Rowley acted surprised that opposition leader Kamala Prasad-Bisesa was mentioning the election, but assured that he has no intention of calling it soon. They still have a whole year. I believe in 2025 is election. August, September, somewhere around there. Right? 25, yeah, I believe so. Tizang Rowley said, with your record, I would stay far from election. And added that his government was elected to serve for 5 years and has a long time to go. Listen.
I noticed my colleague from Superior is obsessed with elections and saying that with your record, I would stay far from elections. But my colleague is every time my colleague gets the opportunity, she talks about an election is due. Who tell you that? Madam Speaker, I want to comfort my colleague from Superior. I do not intend to call the election very soon. You have to be here for a little while longer in that seat. So, Madam Speaker, this government that I lead was elected to serve for 5 years. And as far as the last time I checked, there's a long time, a British parliamentarian, I think it was Harold Wilson, who said that a week is a long time in politics. A week is a long time in politics. And so therefore, we have a number of weeks ahead of us. So therefore, as far as my colleague is concerned, I think she should take it as, we have a long time to go to your next defeat. So don't be too anxious. Don't be too anxious.
Trinidad and Tobago, do you think Dr. Rowley is going to call election now? Did you get fooled? Oh my God, I'm so sorry for you. I am so sorry if you got fooled. But nevertheless, the last general election was held on August 10, 2020. The Rowley-led government claimed a victory, securing a second term in office. Their term expires next year. Next year. So you have a whole year to make up your mind which party you are going to vote. So we are going for a short commercial break. When we come back, we're going to hear Mohit and Webster Roy clash in education debate after this.
Become a member of Real Talk Credit Union, now located at number 14 Coroni Savannah Road, Chagonas. Open a fixed deposit with Real Talk Investments and get 4% on interest with interest payment being paid upfront. Get in contact with us at 238-6716, 231-6219 or 339-1670. Real Talk Credit Union Cooperative Society Limited. Plant a seed today for a better tomorrow.
Tired of wasting precious time at the bank applying for a loan, only to be denied? We understand your frustration. Here at Real Talk Group of Companies, we take a different approach. Contact Saieed, Managing Director of Realtalk Group of Companies and Licensed Moneylender at 238-6716, 242-7690 or 339-1670. Feel free to visit our office at number 14 Carney Savannah Road, Chaguanas or number 132 Superior Road, Victoria Village, San Fernando.
When life throws you a curveball and you need a clear path forward, trust Realtalk Wrecking Service to get you back on track. Whether you're stuck on a roadside or dealing with an unexpected breakdown, our 24/7 wrecking service is just one call away. Fast response, reliable towing, and a team that's got your back. At Realtalk Wrecking Service, we don't just tow, we rescue. Realtalk Wrecking Service, your lifeline on the road to recovery.
At Realtalk Studios, we dedicate our time to highlight the blaring issues we face within our community. Catch us live every Wednesday between 7 to 8 p.m. Real Public Concern. Because your concerns are meant to be heard. Send your email to realpublicconcerns@gmail.com.
So Trinidad and Tobago, remember Realtalk is offering you 4% on fixed deposit. Remember that, viewers, we are the only financial institution in Trinidad and Tobago that is giving you that 4% on fixed deposit. And the good thing about this is that you're getting your interest payment up front. Up front, you're getting it. As you have heard, callers have been calling in and saying, Saieed, family, friends, they have invested, they went on vacation, they enjoyed their upfront interest. If callers can call in and say that, you know what we're doing is not fake. It's not fake. And I could stand by my word. So, go to your bank, take out whatever you have, bring it to Realtalk, invest it in a fixed deposit, and collect your interest up front. Remember, viewers, we are a licensed credit union in Trinidad and Tobago. Open a savings account, a shares account, plant a seed today to make sure and secure a future tomorrow. Yesterday was the past, today is the present, tomorrow is the future. Don't get tied up and carried away. Plant a seed. So back to our news tonight. Members of Parliament for Tobago East, Ayana Webster Roy, has defended the Trinidad and Tobago education system when she clashed with opposition MP for Chaguanas East, Bandana Mohit. Mohit stated that several issues were not dealt with by the current government, such as poor school infrastructure and the lack of provisions for education for special needs students. She said, members who spoke before on a motion would have spoken on an all-for-government approach, which meant that one would have little to none of these problems. Mohit added that an all-for-government approach would mean that you would have an actual school to attend on a daily basis, not a community center.
These issues are a stark reflection of the government's negligence in maintaining a conducive learning environment for our students. How can we, Madam Speaker, as representatives or as the government expect our youth to thrive and excel when they are forced to endure such substandard conditions, Madam Speaker. And the members who spoke before on this particular motion from the government bench would have spoken about all of government approach. Madam Speaker, all of government approach means that you will have little or no problems such as these existing within our school system of crumbling walls, leaking roofs, inadequate facilities facing our student population. Madam Speaker, all of government approach, you know what that means? That means students will have an actual school to attend on a daily basis, not a community center.
Now, viewers, Webster Roy responded to Mohit's assertion that there were no technical, vocational programs, saying the government was using the whole of government approach specifically with technical and vocational education. She referenced to the Ministry of Sport, Development and National Service and programs for training towards alternative industries such as oil and gas, renewable and artificial intelligence. I'll listen to this one, you'll love it.
If the honourable member would come out of her little box and actually look at what is being done by the government, she would recognize the number of the training programs that the honourable member would have identified are currently being rolled up by a number of different agencies. I could reference the Ministry of Youth Development and National Service. I remember when the Minister for Youth Development and National Service spoke on this very said motion, he would have indicated, that honourable member would have indicated that government has put in place a number of training programs towards the alternative industries, towards oil and gas, renewable energy, towards artificial intelligence, all those things. So, for example, we have FUSE, which is the introductory licensing training program. We have aquaculture and cooperatives training program. We have the Civilian Conservation Corps. We have the All-Set Alternative Learning and Life Skills Enhancement Training Program. Through the Ministry of Sports and Community Development, there are a number of training initiatives made available for young people in Trinidad and Tobago. So the opportunities are there.
Mohit also took the government to task, bringing up an incident at a PNM Moruga Tablan constituency meeting at the 5th Company Baptist School. Paul, listen to this.
What can you really expect in terms of meaningful changes when you have reports in the newspaper today of a school in Moruga, a big article, a PNM party group fight in a school, Madam Speaker? Madam Speaker, what can you expect in terms of meaningful changes when you have a party group chairman saying it was plenty lash, big bacchanal, Madam Speaker reported. Madam Speaker, I had to run for my life. In a school? In a school, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker. And you know which school? 5th Company Baptist School, Madam Speaker. What can we expect in terms of meaningful changes from the government?
Webster Roy lashed back and quoted an article where a UNC councillor was assaulted in Penal between two supporters during the opposition internal election, which left one man bleeding and bruised. Listen to this one.
UNC councillor cuffed down in Penal. Councillor Sheldon Lal shows a burst lip after he was attacked at the Penal Government School during voting for the UNC internal elections yesterday. a violent clash between two United National Congress members supporting opposing slates at a polling station in Pinal left one man bleeding and bruised, Madam Speaker.
Trinidad and Tobago, you see what has taken place in our parliament? In our parliament, tit for tat. Tit for tat. But nevertheless, I just want to touch on health a little bit. The Minister of Health, Saieed Ali, have stated that TNT is working towards introducing robots to its medical arsenal, which will help in the treatment of various diseases, including cardiovascular ailment. Singh lauded China for marrying medicine and technology and spoke of RoboCats, and company that designs, develop, and market innovative robotic solution to treat cardiovascular disease. RoboCat also performed the first in-human robotic coronary. Boy, let me tell you something. We gotta get 5G internet connectivity, and noted that can pave the way for more long distance. Hey, you think robots are capable of doing surgeries? So viewers, we out of time for tonight, but nevertheless, don't miss out on our 4% offer on fixed deposit, with the interest payment being paid up front. I am Saieed Ali, you are viewing Real Talk with Saieed. Until we meet again, good night.